Thursday, the 3rd of July 2025 was forecast to be a big day, and it really was. I set off walking up the hill at 9:30. A van stopped and gave me a lift to Hayslad Spring. Thanks, Tom and Emma. I met Will Barstow in the quarry car park and walked up with him. We overtook a slow woman who said she was carrying 35 kilograms on her back. I got up the hill before 10 o'clock. I said hello to my neighbour David, then found a clear spot to launch. There were at least 40 paraglider pilots getting set up. I chatted with Franklin and Neil, who were next to me, and a man called Dill helped me spread out my wing when I was ready to launch. I did a small flight to check out the air.
Thank you. Hey, Will.
I did another flight, which would get me leaving the hill by 10:30.
Not sure I'm doing that right either. No, I'm going up. Oh no, I'm not going up. You've lost it, Dan. Of course, that's where it is. He's turning also to the left. We've got to be careful with each other, mate. I have to calculate, work out which is which arm. That's the right arm.
I knew that I wasn't in a hurry as I had left the hill, so I circled in anything that was going up. As I got past the River Severn, there was quite a lot of shadow ahead, so I dawdled in any lift, hoping that the sky would change. It was slow going, mostly just drifting with the wind in weak lift, clinging to any height I had, slowly floating past Pershore. There was a yellow paraglider, not in a pod harness, below me here, who helped show me some slightly better patches of lift, but we were only barely climbing. At some point before Evesham, I spotted a sailplane climbing well, so headed straight for him. I managed to join above him so he could go under me as I headed for the centre of his circle. We were joined by another sailplane, and as I approached cloud base they headed off to the west. I just touched the clouds and headed off downwind. After gliding beyond Evesham, I found some weak lift, but it wasn't enough. I had an option to head downwind, but I had a bad feeling that I wouldn't find any lift downwind, so headed back towards Evesham, which is a perfect thermal source.
I think go back to that cloud. You're not in a hurry. It's 12 o'clock and you're already at Evesham.
I found my thermal and took it to the clouds. Now I felt confident to head downwind, aiming to keep my heading exactly to the east. There was only weak lift though, as I got lower towards Meon Vale. There was a precarious thermal near Ilmington, which gained me 150 metres, but then a bit further on, at almost my lowest point of the flight at 646 metres, I found what turned into a great thermal. Near cloud base, I saw the cloud was a short way downwind of me, so moved over and found the best lift under the cloud. It was 1 o'clock in the afternoon and the thermals were great. There is a section of airspace north of Banbury which starts at 1676 metres. Next time I need to be more aware of this. I've not uploaded my track to the internet this time, sorry. I crossed the line of HS2. They have added some big pipes that I guess are going to be tunnels. I stayed fairly high for a bit, but was on a glide down over where I landed this year at Towcester. At least I knew I was going to fly my furthest this year. I'd been getting a bit cold having chosen my thin coat, and as I dropped down towards 800 metres, I started to appreciate the relatively warmer air.
It's starting to warm up. Just east of Towcester I am. Ready to engage mincing mode. No? Ready to engage hurtling up to the clouds mode.
Part of me wanted the warmth of the ground, but the cross-country pilot part of me insisted I stay as high as possible. There was then a long glide, during which I headed off to the right, so I could fly over the town of Olney, another thermal source.
Okay, back and turning that.
I found the expected thermal, but it was slow going. But it kept going, and it led me to something better, marked out by a blue paraglider. We each had separate circles, but joined together for a few circles. I smiled at him, but he won't have seen it behind my balaclava from that distance. Off he went. I wasn't going to leave the lift until it stopped or I got to the cloud. He had a good fast glide on that wing. The lift stopped pretty soon, though, and I was off downwind again. Another climb approaching Bedford, which got me up to almost 2,000 metres. There was a long glide past Bedford, getting me to the lowest point of my flight at 636 metres. I found a super thermal here, getting me up to over 2,000 metres. I decided to turn my camera off here, so I could use it for the landing, just turning it on for chosen clips.
1866 metres going up. And I think that's Bedford over there, that's St Neots, that's Biggleswade, and just down here we've got Cambridge, and I'm going to go to the left of the airspace. It's a circular red airspace. So I got to over 2,000 metres. I can see another little paraglider down there somewhere, quite low. Well, might be high, but I'm massively high. I'm having to head to the left of Cambridge. And yeah, I'm on a glide now. Heading for 2 sailplanes. I'm going to join their thermal, and then I'll be to the left of Cambridge by then, and I could get over any air traffic zone that's there. Right, there's Cambridge. There's Cambridge. It's interesting, there's a glider in a field down there. I don't think that's a proper glider field. So yeah, great day for gliding. This is Newmarket. This is Newmarket under here. And that's Cambridge back there. And that's Bury St Edmunds down there. Somebody overtook me on a paraglider, and looks like we'll make it to Bury St Edmunds. I've glided over this sailplane, and that means there's the thermal here, and I'm still going up. 2082 metres. I'm not going to have any problem gliding to Bury St Edmunds, but I thought I'd take the liftiest line over this sailplane.
I was getting really cold, allowing myself to shiver, but I didn't want to miss out on any height, just in case.
There's Bury St Edmunds. I think I can see the sea.
There was plenty of lift, and I could have gone further, but I wanted to get home the same day.
Jesus Christ, what a wicked flight. Hi, I've landed safely at Bury St Edmunds. Yeah, a little bit cold. Yeah, don't worry, but it's warm here and I've got a coat. Oh, I probably look freezing cold, feel freezing cold. Let's pack up this paraglider. Right, sorry to leave you in the bushes.
I got the train home with Adam Kozlovsky, who landed not too far from me. He paid considerably less than me for the train, so next time I'll be buying my ticket from the TrainPal app on my phone too. We got into Malvern Link after 11 and shared an Uber up the hill. I got in just before midnight. I'd flown 208 kilometres, my longest flight ever.